to the best news in our city, brought to you by the students of Tulsa Public Schools. Stand by for Tulsa School Life.
Hello, welcome to Tulsa School Life. I'm Ronnie Nazardine.
And I'm Eddie Fairchild. We have an exciting show for you today. We'll meet some students who have made great accomplishments in math, creating inventions, and in chess.
We'll meet the Teacher of the Year and hear about a street dance coming up, and much more. Now to the news desk with Veronica Whitecloud and Scott McGuire.
The 9th grade Elite Scholars Program at East Central recently visited the Tulsa Zoo to meet Dr. Ann Savage, a conservationist involved with saving the endangered tamarin cotton-top monkey. Dr. Savage spoke about deforestation and the effect it has on native life in the rainforest of Colombia. The East Central students involved in the Elite Scholars Program are recycling aluminum cans throughout their school to raise money for the saving of Colombian rainforests.
Former school board members Clyde Moore and Judy Eason McIntyre were honored at a farewell reception recently. The Tulsa Area Alliance of Black School Educators hosted the event. Doug Dodd, school board member, delivered remarks. Newly appointed school board president Kathy Newsom also had kind words for Moore and Eason McIntyre. The choirs from Hale, Bernard, and Foster provided the evening's entertainment. The outgoing board members also received gifts. We thank the board members who gave so much of their time and dedication to our school district.
We have 4 winners of the Math Fest competition in our studio today. They join Eddie to talk about how they won. Eddie?
With me is Bobby Wood of Patrick Henry, Trent Wood of Elliott Elementary, Jeff Pasco, and Kevin Klingeman, both from Skelly Elementary. Thanks for joining me. Bobby, can you explain what exactly you won in the math fair?
I won the highest accumulated score for a 5th grader.
How did you prepare for the... what exactly did you score in?
I got grand prize in concepts, grand prize in data management, 2nd in computation, and honorable mention in geometry.
Trent, what did you win in?
I won grand prize for exhibits.
What did your exhibit consist of?
Popcorn, how much pops until it stops.
How did you go about experimenting this?
Well, first I had to pick out 3 different brands of kernels. Then I took 25 from each brand, put them in the hot air popcorn popper, and I popped those, and I found how many popped then. And then I put them in a pan, and then I put them on the stove, and then I found out how many popped there. And then I figured out which one pops more.
Which one does pop more?
It generally pops more in stove oil, but stove oil is littler. They are littler, and in hot air, they are fluffier.
Oh, I see. Jeff, what prize did you win?
Well, I won 1st place in geometry and measurements. And I also won 1st place in geometry and measurements. And I got honorable mention in computation and concepts. I got 2nd place in data management. And I got 1st place of the 5th grade highest score, which would be 2nd place after Bobby.
Kevin, how about you?
I got grand prize for a 4th grader, accumulated score. I had grand prize in measurements and in geometry. I had 1st place in the 4 other subjects that we had at Math Fest. Jeff Pasco and my scores together got highest accumulated score, and we also had several group exhibits that won prizes.
Bobby, can you tell me a little bit about the math fair and what it's all about?
It's a 4th and a 5th grader from each school that go and take 6 tests all day, and then they have entertainment, and then they give out the awards.
Trent, how did you go about entering the math fair?
Well, I thought it'd be fun, and I saw my brother entering and getting all ideas, so I thought it'd be fun if I tried out.
How about you?
Well, during our math class, we had our teachers made up a math test, which we took, and whoever would get the highest score of the 5th grade would represent the 5th grade for our school, and the 4th grader would represent the 4th grader.
I see. What grade are each of you in? Bobby?
I'm in 5th.
Trent?
I'm in 2nd.
Jeff?
I'm in 5th.
Kevin?
I'm in 4th, and I'd like to say hi to my math teacher, Mrs. Blackburn.
Do you guys have anybody you'd like to say hi to?
My math teacher, Miss Whitaker.
Trent?
My best friend Michael and my teacher, Miss Goodrich.
Thanks for being here. And now back to the news desk.
McLean Career Academy recently held its 2nd annual scholarship pageant. The pageant gave participants the opportunity to develop verbal and written communication skills, to enhance their talents, to build their self-esteem, and obtain financial assistance to further their education at the college or university of their choice. Scholarships were awarded to the top 3 winners. Congratulations to all of them.
The Booker T. Washington Speech and Debate Team won the 1997 4A State Speech Debate Championship Tournament recently. The tournament brings together 43 of Oklahoma's largest schools at Oklahoma State University for 3 days of competition. This is the 2nd year in a row for Booker T. Washington to win the state championship tournament. The team, directed by Bill Bland and Bo Justice, will represent Tulsa Public Schools at the National Forensic League National Speech Tournament held in Minneapolis.
Our next guest is a very special teacher. Roxanne Vincent, science teacher from Elliott Elementary School, is the Tulsa Public Schools Teacher of the Year, and she joins Rania in the studio. Rania?
Joining me is Roxanne Vincent, Teacher of the Year at Elliott Elementary School. Thanks for joining me.
Well, you're welcome.
What exactly was your inspiration for becoming a teacher?
Well, for as long as I can remember, I have loved being in school. I have always wanted to be a teacher. I was the kind of student who loved to pass out the papers as well as collect them. I wanted to grade the papers, write in the teacher's grade book. I wanted to erase the chalkboards, write on the chalkboards. I loved to answer questions, and I loved to explain to students when they didn't understand what the teacher was saying. But I think my parents were my driving force in my decision making. They taught me that the fundamentals necessary for achieving success in school would help me become a productive and effective citizen. And they also taught me that the power of an education would help me meet any of my challenges in the future, such as finishing college and earning my certification.
What exactly is your style of teaching? I guess since you got the Teacher of the Year award, it must be pretty successful.
Well, it's successful for me. I am a science teacher. I believe that my role as a teacher is to arouse interest and stimulate curiosity. I believe that students are responsible for learning, and I help to develop that insight. As a science teacher, I promote the scientific method of problem solving. I encourage creative and divergent methods of thinking. I have established a climate of mutual respect in each of my classes. I hold students to a high standard of scholastic achievement and personal conduct. I focus on questioning techniques, and I have great wait time, and that is to help establish a listening environment so that we can convert incorrect responses into a learning experience during the lesson. I am open-minded and I am somewhat flexible, though I am very structured. And I believe one of the most important qualities is that I foster critical thinking rather than blind acceptance of factual information.
Teaching little kids, how exactly do you arouse that interest in the science area?
Well, as you know, Being at Elliott is a gift in itself. The students come to school easily stimulated, eager to learn at our level, and I contribute it directly to parental expectations and support. But as far as teaching science concepts, I am a believer that students must question what they are learning. And one of the ways that I have found successful in helping children to do that is through the use of discrepant events. So during a lesson, while the scientific concepts are being developed, whether it is at the beginning of the lesson or at the end of the lesson, I pose questions during demonstrations for students to explain, which shows that they comprehend concepts. Research shows evidence that students retain knowledge longer through when they are engaged in this kind of learning. And I also believe that it influences content achievement.
Who were some of your role models?
Well, I'm a very spiritual person, and I thank God daily for being blessed with a family and a husband who supports what I do and who is forever providing me with options for problem solving. Throughout graduate school, I had a professor named Diane Montgomery who taught me how to value intrinsic rather than extrinsic rewards for our efforts. As a science teacher, I live by Teak Liam's book entitled Invitations to Science Inquiry. As an educator, I read and reread Harry Wong's book titled The First Days of School. But as a member of my faculty, I'm supported by the utmost professionals. They are the ones who set the standards by which we work. They are a network in which I find encouragement for building my confidence. And it is through them that I gain my innovations and am challenged to be the best that I can.
Before we go back to the news desk, I'd like to say congratulations on being named Teacher of the Year. Now back to the news desk.
Fourth grade Bell Elementary student Cheryl Quitone wrote the winning essay in the National Young Readers Day Oklahoma Reading Roundup contest. Cheryl went along with her teacher Susan Westerfield to Guthrie. Cheryl received a check and a published copy of the anthology, which includes her work. Cheryl and Ms. Westerfield were honored at the TPS board meeting recently.
Another group of students honored at a Tulsa Public Schools board meeting are from Booker T. Washington High School. They have been named Academic All-Staters by the Oklahoma Foundation for Excellence. They are Stephen Butler, Shaheen Kazi, and Dylan Arena. To be eligible, they had to have an ACT score of 30 or more, an SAT score of 1350 or more, a class rank of first or second, or a standing of semifinalist for the National Merit or National Achievement Scholarship Program. Congratulations to them on their accomplishments.
Now joining Eddie in the studio is Janice Bayouth, the vocal music director at Booker T. Washington High School. She'll tell us about a very special event coming up.
Joining me is Janice Bayouth, the director of vocal music department at Booker T. Washington. She's here to tell me about a very special event taking place at Booker T. Janice, could you tell me a little bit about this?
Yes, we're going to have an all-school fundraiser. It's going to be a street dance, and it's going to be sponsored by the vocal music department, the class of '99, and the athletic department.
Is this to raise money for these departments?
Yes, but it will also help out all the other clubs and organizations because they're going to have carnival games and booths that they each sponsor.
Could you give me a little bit of information about the different events you'll have there and booths and things?
Yes. We're going to have things like cotton candy, face painting, basketball throws, concessions. Each sponsor and organization came up with some type of booth and games to have out there.
What date is this taking place?
This is going to be Saturday, May 10th from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. We also have Earl Clark and the Spectrum Band which he is a former graduate of Booker T, and the Powerhouse DJ Light Show. And it's going to be a big event out there, so everyone's welcome to come out and help Booker T. Washington High School.
What time does it start?
9 p.m., and it's $5 at the gate.
I see. Well, thank you very much.
Door prizes, I forgot to say.
Okay.
Lots of door prizes.
Okay, well, be sure to have everybody come out to Booker T and help support the sophomore class, the the athletic department, and what was the other one?
Vocal music.
Vocal music department. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
And now back to the news desk.
The first Vocational Technology Showcase was held recently. The showcase was hosted by the Tulsa Promenade Mall, and it exhibited projects in agricultural education, business computers, family and consumer sciences, and printing. It also featured a metric 500 car race and a design contest. The showcase gave students an opportunity to demonstrate skills they have learned throughout the 1997 school year in vocational education classes.
Bell Elementary student Zachary McKenzie won the statewide T-shirt design contest for the Great Oklahoma Trash Bash. His design will be printed on 10,000 T-shirts, which will be distributed statewide. The theme for the contest is Clean Up the Heartland.
There were some fascinating inventions featured at the Invention Exposition. Two of the winners joined Rania in the studio.
Thanks for being here. Today I have Mrs. Kurth, Andy Vo, and Edward Hangs to talk about the invention convention they recently participated in. Thanks for being here. Mrs. Kurth, exactly how many kids competed in the state convention this year?
The number was never made clear, but there were hundreds of 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in Oklahoma City at the state capitol.
How many did your school send?
We sent 8.
8, wow.
8 4th and 5th graders.
And I guess each of them did fairly well?
Each of them did very well here. They all did fairly well. These two took the show.
How many years has this been going on?
I didn't prepare for that one. 10 years that I know of. We've been involved in it. I've been involved directly in it for 2 years.
2 years. Now, I guess you two stole the show this year, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Your science teacher got you involved this year?
Yes.
And you are a 5th grader, correct, Edward?
Yes.
Did you do this last year?
Yes.
How did you do?
I didn't do anything as good as I did this year.
Well, before we get on to exactly what happened, how did you qualify for the state convention?
Well, we had a invention convention at the school. I won first place for the 5th graders, and I don't know what Andy did.
How did you do, Andy?
Fine.
Fine. Didn't you place within your age group?
Yes, I got first place.
And you got, Edward, what did you place within your?
I placed 4th place for the entire 5th grade of the state.
Wow. And you got first in the 4th grade?
Mm-hmm. At our school.
At
At our school.
our school.
yeah.
How did we do in the state?
4th place.
And first?
Yeah, first.
First place in the whole 4th grade in all of Oklahoma.
Wow. Now, we know you got the recognition, but was there a prize to go along with that?
Yes, there was a $50,
Little extra
Yeah.
bonus?
I got $5.
Not bad, not bad. What exactly were your projects for this competition?
I did the airflow sensor. It measures airflow behind a air filter because sometimes that gets clogged and you use up natural glass inefficiently without reason, and sometimes in extremities your house may catch fire, or your house may get very hot from not getting the air conditioning it needs.
And what was yours, Andy?
Mine was the coat catapult that, if you were little and you had to ask your mom and dad for, your coat, but I made this coat catapult that, it's a spring that, when you pull it down, it gives you your coat.
Wow. Do you guys have any other hobbies besides the science area?
Yeah.
What?
Drawing.
Drawing and
Reading books.
reading books. What do you think this has taught your children in terms of like competing on the state level, Mrs. Kurth?
Oh, I think it's given them a lot of confidence. We learn in school that the best inventions, the most important inventions we use come from some really weird ideas. And we have a lot of laughs in the beginning of our invention unit, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Very.
Thank you.
What are some of the interesting inventions that you've gotten?
That we have had at our school. We've had some really interesting things that I've seen on the market already. Children were not aware, but ways to deal with kitty litter, ways to deal with dogs escaping. The children first think of a problem in their lives, something they have to deal with or someone they live with has to deal with.
Was your air conditioner broken? Is that what caused you to work on your airflow?
No, not really. It's just that my father forgot to change the filter often, so we often ended up spending too much money on air conditioning and natural gas.
And was your problem the fact that you were too short and always had to call your mother?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to both of you, and I hope this continues. Thanks. Now back to the desk.
The Oklahoma Art Educator of the Year is one of Tulsa Public Schools' teachers. Joanne Chandler, art teacher at Roosevelt Elementary, won the award recently from the National Art Education Association. Congratulations to Ms. Chandler.
The Middle School Best Practices Institute was held recently. It highlighted the TPS middle school programs and their successful teaching practices. It also gave middle school educators a chance to hear from experts about the practices to improve students' learning.
Joining Eddie in the studio are a group of Eisenhower Elementary students who have a very special talent. They belong to the Eisenhower Chess Club. Eddie?
Joining me is the award-winning chess team from Eisenhower International. Thanks for being here. If you guys could just introduce yourselves individually as we go on down the line, I think that will let everybody get to know you a little bit better. You can start.
Okay. My name is Weston Wood. I'm Blake Chrisman. I'm Kate Stambaugh.
Joe Vandigetti.
Weston, you participated in the state chess tournament recently. How was it?
It was good.
Can you describe it a little bit?
We were in this big room with a bunch of tables and a bunch of chessboards, and we just played like 6 rounds of chess.
Hey, Blake, how was it for you?
It was fun. I had a great time.
How did you do in the chess tournament?
I took 3rd place out of all the 5th graders that participated.
How about you, Weston?
I got 2nd in all the 5th graders that participated.
Kate, how did you like the chess tournament?
It was great. It was really fun.
Yeah. How long have you been playing chess, Blake?
I've been playing for about 3 years.
You, Weston?
The same.
How do people get involved in the chess club at Eisenhower International?
It's open to everyone, kindergartners on up. As a matter of fact, we even have we have some kids there who don't even go to Eisenhower, but their school doesn't have a chess club, so they just show up there and play chess.
I see. Are there more boys than girls or more 5th graders than 4th graders? How's the ratio in the chess
It's pretty well mixed.
Yeah?
Yes.
Kate, how has it been for you playing with everybody, and how long have you been playing chess?
This is my 2nd year.
How is it playing with everybody else?
It's okay. I mostly play 4th graders, but I beat everybody.
Oh, right. Do you guys plan to compete in any more chess tournaments?
Hopefully. Hope so.
I heard Weston and Blake competed in a couple of chess tournaments previous to this one. Can you tell me a little bit about those, Weston?
I played one in St. Louis Potosi whenever I went on to the Eisenhower Exchange.
How was that?
It was fun too.
Did you have any troubles with the language barrier or anything?
No.
Yeah? How about you, Blake?
I played in a tournament at Caney Valley and took top 5th grader there.
Wow. Wow, that's great. Thank you for joining us. And now back to the news desk.
A Booker T. Washington High School basketball player made the news recently. Ryan Humphrey played in the McDonald's All-American basketball game in March. He also signed to play basketball for the University of Oklahoma. Congratulations to Ryan Humphrey.
Several educators from Russia visited Tulsa Public Schools recently.
Have any questions at all of us, we think that an exchange of dialogue would be better than just us sitting here and presenting what the makeup of our district is. Of course, I represent a section of the district that is probably at the poverty level end is probably highest within the school district. One thing that we've come to find out is that it is not basically a racial difference as far as the achievement level of our students, but more a social and economic difference that makes this, that where you could draw this line and say that the children at the upper end of the economic scale, they succeed, and the children at the lower end of the economic scale are less successful.
They were here to get ideas about our educational system that they could take back to their country.
That's our show.
We hope you learned how Tulsa Public Schools is educating for the 21st century. I'm Eddie Fairchild.
And I'm Rania Nasruddin. We'll see you next time.
Good job. Great. Okay.
That's it.
I hate the
Sweets.
History. Are we going to do the back and forth thing or just the one at a time report?
In the future.
My hero? Isaiah Thomas. Kevin Costner. Mr. Wall.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero? Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
In a life-threatening emergency, you should know what to do. Say a loved one exhibits unusual symptoms. The first thing to do is... Clear! No. The first thing to do...
Oh! Tourniquet!
No! The first thing you do is pick up the phone and dial your emergency number.
Call 911 first.
Right.
How about mouth-to-mouth?
I don't think so. To learn more about life-saving techniques, contact your Red Cross.
Excuse me. Do you wear your safety belt?
Why, no. I don't wear my safety belt.
Thank you.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
What would you do if you were on fire? I don't know. Jump in a tub? No. You gotta stop, drop, and roll.
If your clothes got fire, you gotta drop to the ground. If your clothes got fire, you gotta go round and round. You just stop, drop, and roll. Get down on the ground and stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Thank you.